had dinner at this modern Thai restaurant recently and it was absolutely delicious. This recipe in particular was fantastic. So I'm going to try to replicate it for you today. It's rice paper sheets that are wrapped around salmon, and I'm going to serve it with a green curry full of lovely green vegetables. Now let's get onto the salmon first. So these sheets, you can buy them at all supermarkets, but we need to rehydrate them. And before I do that, I just want to place a fresh tea towel onto my board because it just makes it really easy to wrap. So into some cold water. And when you're working with rice paper sheets like this, you want to make sure that you don't leave it in the water for too long because then it will be too pliable. So just dunk it in once. We'll pop that onto the tea towel. And then to give this some flavour, so 2 different flavours in this, some sesame oil. I love the nuttiness of it. So I'm just going to drizzle a small amount, 1 drop maximum. And then we're going to brush that onto our rice paper. And then I'm going to use some basil. Now try to pick the biggest leaves for this. So the base here is going to be the top when it comes to presentation. So I want to show that off. We'll pop that into the center and just let that stick there. Now for our salmon. So this beautiful piece of salmon, I've pin boned it and I've removed the skin. Now we want the presentation side to go down first. So we'll pop that down, and where the skin was, that goes at the back. Okay, we need to season our fish, so a small pinch of salt. And then we're going to start with the sides, and we'll just press that down, pulling away at the tea towel, and the other side. And then just like you were rolling a rice paper roll, we're going to again bring the sides in and just make a little salmon parcel. Fold it over. And then there you have it. See how you can see that basil leaf exposed? It's so pretty, and again, so simple to do. So now I'm going to do my second one. We'll just pop that onto a plate. And let's make another one. So dunk it in the water and a splash of sesame oil. Brush that on. And we'll pop our basil leaf and our piece of salmon. So it's 1 nice portion per person, pinch of salt. Then the wrapping. You can actually get the kids involved in this. They love doing this. Perfect. Okay, these are ready to cook. Now I have a steamer basket over here. These things are great, and I've placed a bit of baking paper on the base of it, and I've just pierced it with some holes just to allow the steam to come up. I've also placed it on a wok with a little bit of water down the bottom. So we're going to add our beautiful little parcels onto the baking paper. No oil required because it won't stick. Lid goes on. Now while that's cooking, let's get onto our delicious green curry. And we're going to turn this on to a medium to high heat. We'll add some vegetable oil, about a tablespoon. And then we want to start frying our green curry paste. So I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons. Perfect. And we're just going to start frying that. Now it's totally normal when you are frying off your curry paste for it to split. See how it's just starting to split now, just over here? And it smells fantastic. So we can add our coconut milk. Now this is going to thicken up a little, so I always like to have some water on standby. While that's bubbling away, let's get on to our veggies. Simple, classic vegetables. I have some green beans we'll add, also some zucchini. We'll just top and tail the zucchini. And I'm just keeping with the green theme here, but by all means, you can use whatever vegetable you like. I'm going to cut them into some small bite-sized pieces. You want to cut the zucchini and the broccoli around the same size as the beans so everything cooks at the same time. Now broccoli, good old broccoli. We always use the florets, and by all means I'm using the florets, but I also love to use the stalk. There's so much flavour in it. It's actually quite sweet. So what I'm going to do is just make sure I peel it, and all we do is just use a sharp knife just to tidy it up and cut off the really fibrous woody part. Top and tail it, and you'll see here that you've got this delicate, sweet stem. So yummy, so good for you too. So we're going to cut that into battens, just like our zucchini. So this is looking good. It's slightly thick, so we'll add a splash of water. Great. And now we can add our vegetables. So I'm going to go in with the broccoli stalk first, along with our zucchini, our broccoli florets, and finally our beans. Now, my mum loves to cook her vegetables until they are really, really soft. That's not cool anymore. You still want some crunch in it. In fact, for this dish, I want them to be slightly crunchy. So they're not going to take long at all. I reckon this is going to take about 6 to 7 minutes, which is perfect timing because that's when our fish is going to be cooked. Okay, the salmon is cooked, our vegetables are perfect, not overcooked, and we need to finish off the sauce. So, some fish sauce. This is all about balancing and seasoning. A tablespoon of the fish sauce, which is salty. We need some sweetness to counterbalance this, so some palm sugar. You could use just brown sugar if you like, or classic caster sugar. And I'm just shaving off the palm sugar. This is just going to help it dissolve much faster. So about half of this pod, and then I'll just cut it up a little more into our bowl. And now we need some acid, so good old lime. Just give it a bit of a roll, that'll extract much more juice. Cut that in half. Oh, this one's a juicy one. And then I like to use my spoon just to help me juice our lime to get as much out as possible. Now I like a good hit of lime for this. It just freshens the whole thing up. So I'm going to add one whole juicy lime. Okay, now we'll give that a mix to dissolve that sugar. So we'll just add the whole lot and then mix it in. Yummo. That looks great. Look how vibrant those vegetables are. Okay, now we can plate up. That's how simple this is to do. I'm going to grab a spoon and we'll add a mixture of vegetables to the base of it. Some of those beans and some of that delicious green curry. We'll just pour over the top. And now for our wonderful parcels. I'm going to open that. Wow, how dramatic does that look? I love this recipe. And you know what? You don't need any noodles with this. You don't need any rice because of the rice paper sheet. We'll pop that on top, just like that. And there you have it. You know, it looks like one giant salmon dumpling with veggies. You know what? This is actually quite a healthy dish and it's all in one plate. No extra rice, no extra noodles. I'd serve it exactly like that.